Right out of the gate, Leaf fans, want to apologize to you guys for the late upload. Some technical difficulties. Everything got sorted out, though. We're all good to go, hopefully. And like I said, I apologize for the late upload. But here we are, Leafs. It was a lot tighter of a game than we would have liked against the Detroit Red Wings. However, the Leafs do come away with the victory 4-3 at the Air Canada Centre. And they just continue to roll at the ACC. 13 straight victories at the Air Canada Centre. And you look at it today, with the Leafs win, their 45th win of the season, and that ties a Leafs franchise record for wins in a season. I don't think any of us expected that heading into the year. I don't think any of us really knew that this was even a thing until about a few games ago when they're like, yeah, they're only a few games away from the record. Well, now they've tied it. They need one win in the last 7 games for the Leafs to, grab the record, and I think it's going to happen. But it's going to be a great thing because this team deserves it. They're showing the new regime of this Leaf team. But today wasn't all that pretty. An amazing first period. Leafs come out firing. They outshoot the Red Wings 15-11. And they just start pouring it on Jimmy Howard and the Red Wings. And you know what? Persistence pays off. That's what leads to this first goal. A point shot knocked down by JVR. It's in his skates. He's battling with somebody, but he kind of fends off that defender to give Tyler Bozak a chance to pick the puck up and slide it through to Kasperi Kapanen, who seems like a lot. He gets a lot of wide open nets to fire into, but I don't think he's complaining. He fires it in there, his 7th goal of the year. And if he played a full 82-game season, he's on pace, as of right now, for 18 goals. And he's playing 4th line time, guys, with no power play time. You gotta give him credit for that. JVR Bozak, like I said, grab assists. Leafs up 1-0, and that it was about with 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. You go to the break. You're up 1-0. You outplayed the Red Wings. What a great first period for this team. They come out in the second, flatter than a pancake. And Dylan Larkin scores his 12th of the year, and we're tied. 5 minutes later, Tyler Bertuzzi scores, and the Leafs are down 2-1, and then, again, in the latter half of the second period, under 6 minutes to go in the period, a point shot from Travis Dermott. He holds on to this puck for quite a while, and then, because he wants to find a lane where he knows one of his guys can get a deflection, he does, he waits long enough, fires the puck, and a gorgeous tip in front by Connor Brown. 14th goal of the year. Leafs tie the game at 2 as Dermott and Morgan Riley grab assists. As we said in the last video, Morgan Riley had 47 points going into this game. With that, 48. 2 points away from 50 points as a defenseman. What a great job for Morgan Riley. Leafs tied at 2. But again, they still didn't play well in that second period, but they're still tied. You go into the third, you come out slow once again, 4:58 in, Franz Nielsen scores, and holy smokes, Leafs down 3-2 in the third. But this team, the one thing we've learned is they can score. And right after that goal, the Leafs are putting pressure on. And then a beautiful give and go from Nylander and Matthews. Between Nylander and Matthews, caught off a turnover. I'm not sure exactly which defenseman it was, but a big turnover leads to Nylander picking the puck up, kind of gets the puck, gets a shot. He's there for the rebound. Austin Matthews, it's just a beautiful passing play. It's a beautiful passing play between the two youngsters. And I think Nylander is probably very happy his line mate is back, because Austin Matthews gets the assist on Nylander's 17th goal of the year. Not a great angle shot, the Nylander's shot on that one, but it's in the back of the net, and we're tied at 3s. You don't hear me complaining. And then 5 minutes after that, like I said, the Leafs, persistent. They keep pushing. Jimmy Howard looked like Charlie Lindgren against Montreal last weekend, making some huge saves. And, but then, Patty Marleau turns on the Jets turns 21 years old, it looks like, and he starts beaming it up the right side. Kadri's with him. Luke Witkowski is the only defenseman back. He lies down to try and break up the pass, and Patty Marleau waits just that little bit longer to get around the skate of Witkowski, and then a beautiful backhand saucer pass over the stick of Witkowski, but in front of Jimmy Howard, and tape to Kadri into the back of the net. We talk about Marleau and his terrific shot. That pass was magic. And Nazem Kadri just buries it into the empty net, and the Leafs got the lead 4-3 with just under 8 minutes to go left in the game. And the Leafs, again, the Red Wings are kind of getting desperate there. They need a goal late, so they start peppering Freddie. Some shots are a little weak, and Freddie finds a way to make the save. I remember one shot was I think it was outside the blue line even, and he fires it at his glove, and he kind of knocks it up in the air, goes behind him, and then he has to dive on the puck, and holy smokes, that scared the living snot out of me. But overall, Freddie Andersen made some big saves, 3 goals on 41 shots, and gets the victory. I am so happy for Freddie Andersen. I think it's win number, 35 for him. Yeah, win number 35 on the season for Freddie. Well-deserved. The team fought hard. As much as they didn't play the greatest, they made their chances count. And that's what you talk about, right? You can outshoot a team 15 to 50, or 50 to 15, right? The Leafs have seen that quite a bit this year. Maybe not to that extent, but something along those lines. It's what goes in the net that counts, and the quality of chances. You can have 50 shots from awful angles, and they're not going to go in. But you give me 15 shots that are right in the slot, or, in great quality chances, I'll take that any day. And did the Leafs get outshot today? Oh, absolutely, 41-29. It wasn't all that pretty. But the Leafs made their chances count, and they got the job done. I also credit to Freddie Andersen for making the big save on Martin Frk. On the penalty shot, that could have made it a 2-goal game at that time, and that's a tough lead to come back from. But he makes the save, keeps his team in it. Leafs come back and tie it. Huge stop by Freddie. He was a big piece of this victory. Leafs power play gone ice cold now. No, I'm kidding. 0 for 4 in the game, but it doesn't matter. This team is just firing on all cylinders. Happy they got the win nonetheless. Tying the franchise record for 45 wins in a year. 1-2 straight. They're playing good. 7 games remaining. We got to end the season on the right note. You want to go into the playoffs on the right note. The Boston Bruins have lost a few all day. I think they won their last game, but they haven't been playing their greatest hockey as of late. But you want to go into the playoffs feeling good, right? And the next game for the Leafs is Monday at the Air Canada Centre against the familiar foes, the Buffalo Sabres. But this time, we aren't going to be in Air Canada Centre 2.0 in Buffalo. We are going to be at the actual Air Canada Centre, 7 p.m. on Monday night, as the Leafs look to win their 3rd straight. And they look to really ride a hot streak, obviously, because your next game is against Florida, and that could be a deciding factor for them when it comes to their playoff hopes. So, big thing for the Leafs, but I think the main thing for Leaf fans, including myself, we just want to see this team clinch a playoff spot, no matter what it takes. I don't care if it takes to the last season, if the Leafs go 0-6 and then they clinch a playoff spot. I don't care. I just want them to clinch. And all this team can do is focus on their own destiny, and that is win games. They are very close to doing so. We all know how close they are. But once they see that X beside their name, we know we have punched our ticket to the 2018 Stanley Cup playoffs. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed this game because it was a back-and-forth game. Detroit obviously being eliminated from playoff contention, so they're not really, in that state of mind of, we need to fight to stay in the hunt. They're out of it. They're just playing for contracts, or they're doing that kind of spiel that the Leafs were used to doing. But the Leafs were able to prevail 4-3, like I said, and I'm proud of these guys for the way they fought hard down the stretch in this game. All right, so hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. Who's your player of the game? Not a single player had a 2-point game. Everybody that got a point only had the one. Would you give it to Freddie? Would you give it to one specific player that really stood out to you? Would you give it to Patty Marleau for the terrific pass to Kadri? Would you give it to Freddie for his play? If you have somebody else that you have in mind that I really like the way he played today, let me hear it. All right. So we'll talk to you guys. It'll be Tuesday, Tuesday podcast edition. We'll be talking Leafs, Raptors, Jays, around the leagues, all that stuff. Podcast channel, link in the description. Podcast itself on iTunes, link is also in the description there below, guys. We'll be doing that on Tuesday, getting you guys another episode 5 out to you guys then. We'll talk to you guys Blue Jays edition. That'll be Monday as the last spring training video before the season gets going on Thursday. However, I think we'll be getting a Wednesday season preview video out to you guys. And we'll talk to you guys Raptors edition tomorrow night. I'm not exactly sure what time tomorrow, if it'll be directly after the game or not. I don't think so. I think it'll be a little bit later than we're used to. I wouldn't say this late, but a little bit later nonetheless. All right, so we'll talk to you guys then, Raptors edition, as they take on the Los Angeles Clippers at the Air Canada Center. 6 p.m. tip-off there. Raps look to win their second straight and kind of get some mojo. I mean, obviously they have 2 more games before that crazy 3-game stretch. You want to get some momentum heading into that. And as for the Leafs, they've won their 2 straight games. They look for their 3rd straight. And that's on Monday as they take on the Buffalo Sabres at the Air Canada Center. 7 p.m. puck drop there. Leafs look to get their franchise record 46th win of the season. We'll talk to you guys then, hoping to be record breakers.